Is shining today, but we got us snow on the ground once again. Most of this was actually gone here recently, and then we got a snowstorm and it all came back. And you guys haven't met these two yet. These are our new pups. Just turned them out for the morning. The black one, she's pretty chill. She's kind of protective of the other one when need be, and she's quiet and smart. The other one's nothing but energy and power, and she's not the smartest pup, but she is, you can tell she's a very loving dog once she knows you. Problem is she's got a little more of the, little less of the protecting, a little more of the hunting traits in her. And this little girl right here is a magnet for cockleburrs, so we're going to try and brush her out today. Come here. And she don't know what a camera is yet. But anyhow, with everything that's going on, I am seriously reconsidering what I'm going to breed this year. I more or less made up my mind on the games. I'm probably going to pair up 2 pairs of Azeals, 2 pairs of the Muff Cross, which that's the old hen right here, with her son. I'm going to show you him because I just dubbed him yesterday. The Gull Cross. And I've got plenty of the Roundhead crosses this held back, so I'm just going to hold off on them for the year. Unless I change my mind again. Basically, what I'm worried about is feed availability, ability to sell the birds, and ability to feed them, and things like that. Basically, for those of you that don't know, I feed cattle and hogs for a living, and we had to reconfigure all of our feed rations Friday because one of our main ingredients has basically dried up and become non-existent. Must be a hawk somewhere. Oh. But anyway, so we're already seeing potential shortages of feed ingredients, for one. For two, I went to a sale in Fremont, Nebraska. It was one of the best sales I've ever been to price-wise for sellers, but I think that was kind of a panic buy on most people's part, where they were suspicious that they wouldn't be able to get to another sale this spring, and they had to spend whatever it took to get what they needed, which turned out to be the case. Since that auction, there has been cancellations of swaps and auctions left and right, and I just saw that Delta Airlines is going to temporarily embargo shipping animals, just to make it less work for the people they've got, I guess, because the birds aren't spreading the disease, obviously. But yeah, so it's going to get real interesting, and the last thing I need to do is hatch out 400 or 500 birds and then have nowhere to go with them. The Polish, I'm not sure. I'm going to be breeding Polish, but I don't know just what all I'm going to be breeding, because there's a lot of things that I'm like, I really need to get some hatched out. For example, my bearded buff lace. I've got a half bearded, half non-bearded male. I want to breed him back to my full-blood bearded female, who is his mother, because she's got some age on her, and I'd rather try and get some out of her while I can. The non-bearded gold Bantam, I've only got one of her. I've only got one bearded buff Bantam, so I should try and get some hatched out of them. The cuckoos, I just got a white crested black male from a friend of mine to infuse into them to help get their size back up, because since we lost that pair last summer, the only ones I've got left are all full siblings, or I've got one male that's half Bantam that's unrelated, but he's really high-tailed. My non-bearded buffs are at a spot where I should really keep pushing forward with them. I just picked up a male at that Fremont sale to use in them. The non-bearded golds, I'm only keeping back 2 pair, and I mean, there's not a lot of demand for those, so I could skip those, but then if something happened and I lost both the males or both the females, it would set back that program. You might notice the birds in the stag pens here look a little different. That's because I rotated out everybody that was in the barrel colony yesterday, and I dubbed all the oldest stags. So they're in the barrel colony now, and I put these guys out here into the stag pens. So in about 3 to 4 weeks, I'll switch them back. I'll just keep rotating them. But they're not very big because they're not very old. And the problem with late hatch birds, especially this far north, is they kind of shift their gears in winter, and all that energy they get from their feed goes to staying warm as opposed to growing. And I have seen it where once it warms up, they kind of snap back into a growing mode. I had it one year where I had a bunch of birds hatch, and the feed mill screwed up my feed, so that I honestly thought these birds were going to be stunted for life. I mean, we had muff hens that only weighed about 1.5 pounds, and they were laying. But then once we got them on the right feed, by the next fall, they had caught up to the size of their mother. Of course, it had to snow after I took the plastic off the pens. But, yeah, that's kind of everything that's going on around here. Today I'm going to work on this shed because it's a little too windy for me to work on the feed wagon. But I'll show you what I got going on with the feed wagon here. So, what I'm doing with this wagon is I'm going to make it so it can store bulk feed. And originally I was going to just have a fill spot right up there in the center, in the peak with a sliding roof. But what I'm thinking now is I might leave that spot and that spot open, so that later if I want I can put a divide wall down the middle, because honestly that's more space than what I need for the adult ration. And the mill does make chick feed, so if I can have them put the chick feed in one side and the adult feed in the other side, that's what I'll do. And up here I gotta fix this ladder, but I'm gonna put an access door. That's why I'm not worried about that gap, because we took the gap. And the only other thing is, and this is kind of the part that's the bummer, is this offload opening here is so low to the ground that I can't put my little wagon under it. Now, what I could have done is I could have just gone and bought what they call a seed tender wagon. But the problem with the seed tender wagon is they're like over $2,000, and I got this for $500. So, not a real fan of that. I mean, you know, it'd save me a lot of headache and time, I suppose, but the other problem with the seed tender is the way that they do it. They have an auger system that comes out of the little door there. So you've always got, it'll basically be an auger like right here, and it comes up like this, and then there's a little downspout that comes down. Problem with that is it's set up so high that all the fine particles from the feed would blow away before it hit my wagon, because it's just that little pull behind wagon. And there's always going to be feed sitting at the bottom of that auger after every time we use it. Now, we'd be using it every day, but and you have to, you know, have power for the auger. That's the other thing. So, but the inside of this, I'm thinking about putting in a catwalk so that I can get around in there easier if I need to push feed down. It's not sliding down or something. And I keep going back and forth between putting steel onto plywood after I get that done, or if I'm just going to paint it for now. And I'm still kind of going back and forth on whether I should just have the lid slide across or if I should have it flip open. So once we get this in place, we'll be feeding the local mill at 2 tons at a time, and they'll deliver it. And it's going to be a lot cheaper. They're 16% layer feed, which I'm not going to use that. I'm going to have make me a mix of my own. But their 16% layer feed is like $250 or $300, somewhere in that range for 2 ton delivered. And I just bought, 38 bags. I bought a pallet and they shorted me 2 bags, so I bought 38 bags at 40 pounds each. You can do the math there, but of the pellet feed that we use, that we then have to add things to, and that pallet cost me over $600. So that's why I'm going to do that. But anyhow, I'll be checking in with you here in a little while. Thanks for watching.